Hey guys, my name is Kevin. My topic that I wanted to do is in 3D printing. I have a 3D printer. I got it, I was interested in it after seeing a NASA video where some astronauts on the International Space Station needed a tool, and they happened to have a 3D printer up there, and they were able to print a crescent wrench. And I thought that was, one of the neatest things. I need a tool, print a tool. Through research, I found that 3D printing specifically in homes can be made of up to 60% recycled materials, and over 70%, it'll be over 70% faster. And overall it can be up to 30% cheaper, which, as I've learned in the construction industry and, watching the videos, like the construction industry as a whole is one of the largest contributors to CO2, right? With over like 1/3 of global CO2 emissions. And they're the largest consumer of raw materials. I found a key factor in printing more sustainability would be like the ability to recycle your own materials. Because, so let me tell you a story. So we went camping, right? We went to our cabin, and we, bring our own stuff there, pack all of our trash out, and by the end of the weekend we had like 3 bags of trash, something like super ridiculous. And I was like, it really showed like the amount of waste that we were able to produce, a small family over the weekend, and how much of that was just plastic waste of packaging materials and bottles and water jugs and stuff like that. And I really had hoped that there was a way that, if I could figure out how I could recycle some of that, I thought that'd be, pretty neat. And I think that'd be a good part for my project, especially in sustainability, because, well, here's my problem. So I have my 3D printer, right? And just a little guy, but I have to buy filament continuously. And it'd be really cool if I could figure out a way to use some of that recycled material or some of the plastic that I was going to throw away that would ultimately lead up, to it being in a dump or, being shipped to China. So what I've been researching is building a machine to reclaim, to cut up all of that plastic that I've used and turn it into something usable to be able to print my own filament, basically. And I've been working on this machine. So I've been working on getting everything together for this machine. Basically, recycled plastics or the stuff that I would have been using would go into here, go into this hopper, be crunched up. It would heat it up, and through this die would be extruded at the end, and I'd be able to some of that material. Not all of the plastics that that get thrown away can be used for this, but a majority of them would be able to be used. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on, trying to do my part to at least add to this. But I found that not only in this aspect, but 3D printing in sustainable homes, there's a ton of things that you could make, that would be cheaper and cost effective, and they'd be able to be used again. And those things, bit holders, screwdriver holders, nuts and bolts, stuff like that, all from home. I would be able to make all of this stuff from home. I needed a bracket, a prototype bracket that I was able to make for my motorcycle, able to do it here, save the cost in trying to buy it overseas or what have you. And I thought that was pretty neat. So honestly, I think 3D printing is the way of the future. It's one of those things like 3D printing homes. They're printing a 3D printed home in Fort Collins right now, which I thought was super neat. Concrete printed homes out of recycled road base. That's super interesting to me. In my opinion, I think that's the future. And I'd love to get more into it and be able to see hands-on, mostly just insulation, like stuff regarding insulation, if there was double walls, if it was filled with anything, and what they were using to insulate it with. But yeah, that's my project, and that's what I'm working on. In the list of things I need to cover on this project were, something to the tune of costs and materials and stuff like that. But basically, what I came up with is, for about $600, I can make this machine. Most of the things that I needed are able to be printed. So I downloaded all of these files for all of these parts and pieces, and I've begun just printing these off. Most of everything else that I need, the heat exchangers and stuff like that, are available on Amazon, but I'm gonna hopefully be able to make something cool. My name's Kevin. I really appreciate all the videos and all the time you guys took to put all this stuff together. It's been really interesting, really informative, and really enjoyed a lot of it. I was able to relate and hear stories from my family about a lot of things, especially regarding the dam one. The water sustainability video was probably one of my favorites, just because I got to hear stories from my great grandma and my grandma and all my aunts regarding the flood that happened in the 60s, and why Chatfield was built. But yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate all your